Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel Aces Place 22 with another Thrills and Chills night number 5 here for spooky season, where all month long I will be doing whatever movies I feel like doing, watching, talking about, reviewing. Right now I'm in the middle of doing the Saw franchise, so I've done a small little 5-minute review of Saw 1, 2, and 3. I did a full live watch along of the first Saw movie. That's here on the channel. Check that out. And right now I will do a 5 to 10 minute video on Saws 4, 5, and 6. So if you wouldn't mind helping to keep those evil spirits away like you always do, like and subscribe, and you'll get more content like this and plenty more stuff still to come. All spooky season long, I'm going to be putting out a whole bunch of spooky season stuff. I try to upload like 3 videos a day, whether that's something in lines with like the night of for these Thrills and Chills movie reviews, or if it's just like a basic toy review, which there's going to be plenty of those coming. Little shorts, all sorts of whatever. I'm just trying to stay active here on the YouTube community, trying to make this channel something really special. So without further ado, let's pull back that reverse bear trap and get into it. Here we go. The Saw franchise, like I said, I've done 1, 2, and 3. Here we're going to do 4, 5, and 6. And as usual, I'm going to speak about one of these movies in depth, where the other 2 are going to get pushed away like the redheaded stepchild that they are, children that they are. So I'm going to actually start off with the 4th one. I'm going to talk as full in depth as I feel, as I can remember. These movies are very much all similar in the sense of people getting captured, people getting tortured, and finding hope through that method. But with 4, like I said, this is going to be more of the spoilers than the other 2. But with Saw 4, it starts off with, if I can even remember, give me a second here now. 2 introduced Donnie Wahlberg's character. 3, he got kidnapped. 4, I believe he was kidnapped the entire time. Yes, he was. He was kidnapped the entire time in the 4th one. Him and the new officer or detective Hoffman is in the picture. And this is my personal favorite arc of Detective Hoffman being the new, we'll just say it, the new Jigsaw killer. I like this actor quite a bit. He's got, from this movie all the way up until the 6th one, he is basically the main antagonist through all of the movies. There isn't really any more surprising of like, oh my gosh. There are a couple little like twists and turns, but nothing as revealing as Detective Hoffman being the main villain. I personally really like him. I like the actor Costas Mandylor. I think he plays a really great smug asshole in this universe, and pretty awesome. I got the chance to meet him at one of the local Comic-Cons here in Saratoga, New York, I don't know, a handful of years ago. He was there. It was very, very cool to get to meet him, and as I talk about other movies in this franchise, he will definitely be someone I bring back up and mention again. But for now, I will avoid any of those particular spoilers. But for this movie, it doesn't come right out and say that Costas Mandylor or Detective Hoffman is the villain until the end of the movie. That's the big reveal. Spoiler alert. But it centers around Detective or Officer Riggs, who was in, I think, Saw 2 and 3, definitely 3. These movies like to integrate characters in moments where you don't really think they're important, and then when you go back and you watch the previous ones, you're like, oh yeah, this guy was here this whole time. Like, oh, that's interesting. So it's a nice way to keep the universe going without constantly just introducing new people and just saying, hey, accept it for what it is. You can actually go back and be like, oh, no, they were there. That's pretty neat. So Officer Riggs is being tested this whole time, basically about patience. He is going through all these different games, essentially. Not anything torturous to himself, but he keeps interacting with people that have to fight through their own game. This one guy who is a pedophile has to sacrifice his eyes, or he'll die. And it's his own game. Like there's just so much that I don't want to really get into because it's all just the nitty gritty nastiness, and that's just the fun of watching the movie. But just talking about it to the extent of this is kind of what they're doing. And it shows him, getting all the way to the end of the game, all the way to the end of his trial, and not realizing that, unlike any other game prior to this and after this, where they're all time-based, you have to do things within a certain amount of time, this was, you basically just had to sit and wait for the time to run out. Like, it was reverse Uno. You had to let the time run out and everybody would have lived. But because this guy's inept ability to have patience, that was his downfall right up until the very end. And like all Saw fashion movies, right at the end when they reveal the big twist, it plays the din 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 music. It gets really suspenseful. All the twists start getting revealed and the truth start coming out. And you get a really cool shot of Hoffman walking up behind Riggs and just kind of having that, like, it was me this whole time. That's just pretty cool. And you get one of the coolest deaths in the movie where Donnie Wahlberg, I don't know if I was saying Danny earlier, but Donnie Wahlberg is actually chained up and he's on this giant ice block and he's barefoot and there's heaters next to it. And as it starts to melt, I think it slips into him hanging. But because the time goes off, or whatever the failsafe is, there's these two huge ice blocks above him, ascended above him, and they come swinging down and just crush his head into nothing. It's pretty brutal. The murders and the deaths in these Saw movies get very over the top to the point of, like, who is devising these traps? Like, I get you're an engineer at some point, but, like, come on, that's just crazy. But you get to see Detective Hoffman. He was in the third movie as well. They showed him just for a glimpse. That way you knew he was there. And then here he comes back into the fourth one as, like, the main bad guy, and he survived his game. So, and then you come to find out that he is actually one of the apprentices, right? Would that be the word? Of Jigsaw, and the next few films are going to be centered around Hoffman and his games for victims, actually, that Jigsaw has foreseen he would need to have be put in these situations upon his unfortunate demise. Which leads us into the spoiler-free part of these reviews now of Saw 5 and 6. And of course, just like I said earlier, in all the same fashion with these movies, it's all centered around, you did me wrong, I'm now going to teach you a lesson. It's a group of people, it's a singular person, you must go through all these horrible things. Survive it if you will, survive it if you must. And if you do survive, you now have a second lease on life. 5 is, quick notes, is a new detective comes in. We've seen him before, but he is now hot on the trail of Detective Hoffman, and it's a game of cat and mouse, and it ends with a pretty spectacular ending as well. And then Saw 6 starts off right where Saw 5 ended, in a great cliffhanger pickup where, again, it's that cat and mouse kind of game back and forth. But this time, Hoffman he's a little bit more aware of what's going on, and he's a few steps ahead of everybody else, and it makes, personally for me, some intriguing and really interesting storytelling, because I'm a fan of Dexter, and when you have somebody on the inside causing all the chaos, it's a different flavor, and I like that quite a bit. So I think that's going to wrap it up. That's it for my non-spoiler reviews of Saws 4, 5, and 6 for night 5 of thrills and chills for spooky seasons here at Ace's Place 22. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please stay tuned for more. I've got plenty to come.